Yeah. Ron, there's a second position of people that say you've got the rapture in the Bible, but I think it's in a different spot. There is going to be a tribulation, but we're going to put it right in the middle. Okay, it's called the mid-tribulation view. We're not going through all of the trouble. We're going to be spared from the last part of the trouble. Talk about it a little bit more. What is the mid-tribulation view?
Well, the tribulation is 7 years in length. We see that from Daniel 9:27. So the mid-trib view would be that the rapture takes place 3.5 years into the tribulation. And so what they will say is that the wrath of God falls in the second half, and the church is going to be raptured before that. The problem, of course, with that is that Scripture indicates that the entire tribulation period will be characterized by God's wrath. I'm thinking, for example, of Revelation 3:10, which says that the church will be delivered from the hour of trial, the actual time period of the tribulation.
The whole time period.
The entire time period. Now, typically what they'll try to argue is they'll compare the trumpets in 1 Corinthians 15 with the trumpet in Revelation 11:15. And you've got the seventh trumpet and the last trumpet. And since the seventh trumpet in Revelation, takes place in the middle of the tribulation, why that must mean that the rapture in 1 Corinthians 15 must take place at the midpoint of the tribulation. The problem with that is that these are two entirely different contexts. When you look at the book of Revelation, the trumpet unleashes the 7 bowl judgments. It unleashes the wrath of God, whereas in 1 Corinthians 15, the trumpet has to do with the rapture, the catching up of the saints to meet the Lord in the air. And if you continue your study of trumpets, which I have, you'll see that trumpets are often used in a whole variety of different ways in the Bible. And so that's really an illegitimate way to argue for the mid-trib position. Let me just say, John, that if you want to know how God is going to fulfill prophecy in the future, take a look at how God has fulfilled prophecy in the past. And he has done so quite literally. And when you take a literal approach to the trumpets, to the wrath of God, to the hour of trial from which the church will be delivered, you can't come out mid-trib. The pre-tribulational view is the only one that fits with a literal interpretation of the rapture.